Hi class, today I want to talk to you about form. For your sculpture project, you're going to be doing something that's three-dimensional instead of two dimensions. So far this semester we've only done two dimensions. Drawing, painting, printmaking, all 2D. So now we're going to talk about three dimensions. So a shape is two dimensions, a form is three dimensions, okay? So these are shapes: circle, square, triangle. But a form would be a box or a cylinder or a sphere. So now I'm going to tell you a bit about forms. Basically for this project you're going to be using something around your house as inspiration for your sculpture, and you're going to make a sculpture of that object. So I'm going to give you some ideas to think about as you're deciding what object you want to use. Alright, so form has different elements. One of them is mass. How heavy does it look? Okay, so this one does not look very heavy. This one, on the other hand, does look heavy. So think about that when you pick your object. Do you want it to look heavy or not? Value is how dark or light the object is. So this is the same thing as drawing. All right, so this has a light value. This has a darker value. Color, just like with painting. What color is it? Here we have orange, here we have blue. Texture. Texture is what does it look like, it feels like. Now if you're at a museum, you probably can't actually touch the art. So a lot of times you'll see a sculpture in a museum and you have to imagine what it looks like it would feel like to touch it. Okay? So some things like this cactus, I am allowed to touch, but I don't want to. But I can imagine that it feels spiky. This one looks like it feels bumpy. This one feels soft. Here's two different shells. This one, it has ridges on it, has bumps, so you can imagine that you can feel the bumps. This one, on the other hand, is perfectly smooth. These are also smooth. So that's texture. Positive space versus negative space. So positive space is the object and negative space is the whole. So for instance, this sculpture has positive space and also negative space inside. Same with this one. Whereas this piece of garlic here has no negative space at all. It is only positive space. Another thing to think about when you pick your object is if you want it to be organic versus geometric. So an organic shape would be a shell, could be a raisin, could be a walnut, could be a rock. Geometric is something that looks like geometry, that looks man-made. This object is half and half. The pot is geometric, but the plant itself is organic because it's natural. And when you pick your object around your house, you want it to actually be 3D. Do not pick something that is really just 2D, okay? This, a little metal foot or a coin, or this earring, these are really 2 dimensions. You're not going to learn that much if you try to make a sculpture from 2 dimensions. So really pick something that is 3-dimensional, okay? That takes up space and has a form. Okay, so when you turn in your submission For your statement this time, I want an analysis of the object that you chose. I want you to say, what is the mass? Does it look heavy or light? I want you to say, value, is the object dark or light? And what color is it? What is the texture of your object? What does it feel like? Does the object have any negative space? What is the negative space in the object? And is it organic or geometric?